So everybody as you pushed out is understanding that we are all one. The laws, one of the fuck. And once you understand that everybody is you pushed out, you can use that to your advantage. And this series is dedicated to use manifestation to help you at work. What you're experiencing with literally everybody around you is your assumptions of them. It is how you perceive them. It is how they are going to show up in your reality. For example, if I assume that Lolita at work is a hot-headed, rude, toe-stomping, cutthroat, bitch I just don't like, then that is how Lolita is going to keep manifesting into my reality. So how do we change this? What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to start changing our narrative and our mind of how it is that we view Lolita, the crazy, cutthroat dancer we don't like. And we're gonna go ahead and give another example, except for now we like Lolita. Lolita is nice. Every time I see her, she's in such a great mood. She always likes sharing her customers, yada, yada, yada. I like Lolita. So then that is a version of Lolita that is going to show up in your reality. Now, the way that I use everybody as you pushed out to my advantage at work is that I assume that all the girls that I work with are level-headed girls. They're all there about their business and they're just level-headed girls. That's it. Watch my other video on the law of assumption, because once you learn about the law of assumption, it's easier to manipulate everybody as you pushed out because you start assuming the best of people. Therefore, the way that you view them internally is how they're going to reflect back at you. So now you can do this with the dancers at work. You can do this with your managers. You can do this with the person that runs the place, the people who run the place. You can do this with your bartenders. You can do this with your customers. And I've started all of my videos in this series just reminding you guys, everything that I teach in these videos don't just apply to the club, they apply to your entire life. I just so happened that I wanted to make these videos for our community so that this information can get to our girls. So that is everybody as you pushed out. Everybody as you pushed out is the assumption that you have of people is going to manifest and reflect back at you as yes. I've used this example before in my last two videos. I think I made it up. I'm not really sure, but I'm just gonna go ahead and roll with it. I say that the machine was put on yes. Big guy in the sky that's looking down on us, that's helping us create this reality with our internal thoughts. He is just the yes man. So-and-so is this way. Yes, they are. So-and-so is that way. Yes, they are. 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 If somebody ever switches up on you, if you go back in your mind and you start analyzing your thought patterns, you can go back every single time and you can pinpoint one tiny thing that this person did that triggered something in your mind for you to think about that over and over again, and you went ahead and you defined that action to mean something about the character of that person. Therefore, you kept thinking about it and you kept thinking about it and you kept thinking about it. This thing just fucking multiplies and multiplies and multiplies, and before you know it, this person has turned into the person that you created. But if you're not aware of this, you don't know that you're doing that. Do this at work. You can bring this at work. On my way to work, I like to affirm everyone I come in contact with is extremely generous. They understand the process of going to a strip club. In all my videos, I feel like this is going to become really repetitive. This is the third video that I record, but everything is the same, guys. Everything is the same. We're all one. All the rules apply. Everything is yes, 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 yes. Like I said with the law of assumption, like I said with self-concept, I'm going to say it with everybody as you pushed out as well. You need to stay disciplined with your thoughts. You can't be all over the place. You're going to get hot and cold results from people. And that's just your internal dialogue reflecting back at you because your thoughts are all over the place. If you want good, consistent results, then you need to stay disciplined and consistent within your thoughts. So everybody is you pushed out at work. The girls are about their business. Everyone is nice. Everyone is respectful. Everyone is working. Keep your thoughts that way. Don't turn something super small that somebody does and give it a huge definition, because that little thing it's gonna turn into something else. Actually, I just got a splendid idea. All right, so let me go ahead. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that if you decide that that action is going to work into your favor. And I got like and I have to share it with you guys. I'm super excited. All right, you can turn something very small and magnify it, but make it work in your favor. And the way that you do that is, I'm so excited. I know we've all done this before. All right, so just envision yourself for a second, right? You're walking out the club, right? You're walking out the club and there's a customer, right? And you catch his eye, or he catches your eye. They're looking at you, right? Right? We've done that before. What do you typically do as a dancer that's trying to sell dances? You're gonna go jet over there. You know what you did? You took a simple glance from a person and you turned it into, they want me to dance for them. They want me as their dancer. Or if you're on stage and someone just gives you $1 or $2 or tips you on stage, what did you just turn that little action into in your mind? So learn how to use this stuff to your advantage. Learn how to use everybody as you pushed out to your advantage. If somebody does something negative because you define things, leave that thought alone. Leave that thought alone. If they do something very small and you consider it to be positive, put all of your energy into that. This is what that means. This is what that means. With my videos, I like to give personal examples. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an example of something that happened to me about a month ago. Let's get into story time. All right, so about a month ago, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, not that long ago, I was at work. I need to put this pen down because I keep clicking it. Work, and it was a very slow night. A very wealthy, popular customer walks into work. Everyone's kind of just like, you know, running around. So-and-so's here. So-and-so's here. He basically picks a group of about, I don't know, like 3 or 4 every time he comes. He brings them all upstairs, and basically the chosen ones make a couple $1,000s off of him. Well, I'm sitting there and this other dancer comes up to me. He's a very beautiful, thinner black girl. And we just started conversating about how he had just walked in, just like everybody else was doing. And she mentioned something along the lines of, well, we are shit out of luck because we're not blonde, skinny white girls. I don't know why I went along with that externally, but I just did. And I remember in my mind thinking, well, I don't have to believe that, you know? How would that assumption work in my favor? I'm not going to tell her this because I'm not at work to preach. I believe all of this somewhere internally. I manifested this entire conversation with this girl, so whatever. You got to really detach yourself to make these things work. Anyway, so we had that conversation basically like, we're not going to make the cut. Like, we're not going to make the cut because we don't look like Playboy bunnies. We're not going to make the cut. So whatever. We have that conversation, but internally I was like, well, today you're going to like what I got. Today he's going to like what I got. Today is my day. Today is the day that your type and grill changes. Literally not saying any of this stuff out loud. Like just being a cocky in my mind. So also I manifested that I was not going to approach this customer. I said, I am not going to approach. And this is something that I've been practicing a lot and actually has been working in my favor. That I don't have to work that hard and hustle. They just come to me. So anyways, so I'm literally just sitting there at the high top and I caught his eye and he caught my eye, and just like I assumed that his type was going to change that day. And I don't know what his type was. I'm only going based off of what somebody else told me. I wasn't going to let that be my narrative of what I assumed about this man. Absolutely not. I looked at him and I assumed that when he looked at me, he was going to see creme de la creme. His palette has just changed from brunettes with big titties. He just ends up waving me over and I'm like, I knew that shit was gonna happen. I wobble my ass over there. I ended up dancing for him and his friends. He brought me upstairs. I made like hella fucking money that night. That's an example of everybody's you pushed out, guys. Like, don't look at somebody and assume stuff that doesn't work for you. Change that. Change those thoughts. Assume. Think of it as like a game. Think of this reality as like a game that you're playing and that you just want to get really good at the game. So guys, that is my story with everybody as you pushed out. That was the best way that I could explain to you guys that everybody as you pushed out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you.